y'all, I have an example, and I just wanted to make a standalone video about this because I figured it'd be a good topic to talk about. Is what type of fuel to use in your push mower? Ethanol fuel, is it okay to use? Non-ethanol fuel, do I have to use it? You know, fuel mix. On all 4-cycle mowers, you do not have to use a fuel mix. It's a separate oil compartment from the fuel, so you just use regular gas. If for some reason you don't have any regular gas at home, you can use a fuel mix that you would run on 2-cycle equipment. Just don't use it very long, because then with the oil and stuff associated with it, it could start fouling the plug and kind of clog up I guess your fuel passages and whatnot a little bit quicker. Like I said, for short durations, a tank or two here and there is not going to hurt anything. Let me get to this, and I'll show you an example of what ethanol fuel does in a push mower in particular. A little bit of background: I do Walmart customer return and liquidation type push mowers, and to give context, this mower currently at the time of filming is middle of November. This mower went through the Walmart distribution center in the middle of August of the same year. So we're talking about 3 months. Before that, it was likely purchased in March or April at the beginning of mowing season, and then returned sometime in May. I find that it usually takes about 2 months to process for the Walmart distribution center to process the mowers. So we're talking about, let's see, 6 or so months, 5 to 6 months, and I'm pretty sure that this mower has the issue. I have about 40% of the mowers have the issue with water in the fuel, or at least in the carburetor bowl. And I just kind of wanted to give you an example. These Briggs with the plastic carburetors that are coming on all of the new push mowers are the worst for them. But I just wanted to let you know the purpose of this video is to show you, if you leave ethanol fuel in your push mower, riding mower, whatever, for months and months on end, usually more than about 3 months is when you're going to really start potentially noticing trouble, especially if you leave it in an outside environment and not in a controlled environment. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this on the lift. I'm going to take the carburetor off, at least the carburetor bowl, which I did a DIY quick clean on a few videos back on these. 2 carb bolts, 7mm. We're going to get this off, and I'll show you what we got in the bowl. Okay, so I got the carb bowl off here, or at least unbolted. I do want to give, a quick background on this mower. You can tell that it, from the rust and whatnot, that it likely sat outside at whatever Walmart it was at before it actually went into the liquidation / distribution process. So this is just another further reason to not leave your mowers in an outside space uncovered like this one probably was. I put some gas in it just to see if it would run. The mower wouldn't even run on starter fluid, and usually when that's the case and you have good spark, then it's probably fouled the plug to the point where it's not really able to fire because there's so much water in it. So that's my guess on this mower. Also judging by the fact that when I sprayed carb spray, I saw a couple of water droplet beads there. So that kind of tells me that's a possibility. So let me take this wrench, or ratchet. I'm just going to knock this down, and we'll see what we have here. Hopefully I don't fall down. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this one's going to be a good candidate. really good candidate, y'all. I've covered this many times on my videos. This gas, water, and the fuel situation. Let me close that fuel line off so that I don't lose my good gas. I'm going to try and show y'all here the best that I can. I don't know how well y'all can see it, but if you look in the top part of the bowl there, kind of where my finger is, I don't know if y'all can see the separation of the oil and the gas, or excuse me, the gas and the water. My apologies for that. But I'm trying to move it around so that you can hopefully see it. Let me see if I can give y'all a better look there. I think y'all can see it there, where there's like bubbles and whatnot inside the gas. That's actually straight water. And what happens is that water gets mixed with the gas. Well, it doesn't get mixed with the gas, but the ethanol fuel starts breaking down, the ethanol in the fuel, and it actually starts separating, kind of like oil and water do. So that's what happened with this mower. That's what happens with about 40% of these Walmart customer returns I get, is that people put bad gas in them, or they leave them sitting around. So, two things I want to address here. First question that I posed at the beginning of the video: should I use ethanol fuel in my mower? The first thing I would say, and this is coming from a guy that actually just uses pump gas in his lawn equipment, and instead of non-ethanol. Non-ethanol is the way to go on 4-cycle, any sort of lawn equipment and things like that. Non-ethanol fuel is always the way to go. It's always a great choice. You shouldn't have any issues with this water separating from the gas. As for me, I use just the regular 87 regular pump gas in all of my equipment. As you can see, I got a bunch of riding mowers here. Don't have any issues with using that, but if you use it, I will tell you this: do not leave it in the gas tank for more than about 2 to 3 months. So 90 days is a good rule. Otherwise, the oil and the gas the gas and the water start to separate from each other. Mostly because of, in those 90 days, you get a lot of temperature swings and humidity swings in most parts of the country, most parts of the world actually. So you're going to have that the fuel is battling, as well as the age of the fuel itself, and it's just a losing battle. So what I do, if you decide to use ethanol fuel and you know that you're going to store the mower for more than, I would say, 2 months, is I would not only drain out the gas in the gas tank, but I would also drain out the fuel in the carb bowl by doing one of two things. One is just doing like I did and take the carb bowl off, and if you need to know how to take one of these off on a Briggs, I'll link the video to that in the description below. The other way, and this is the way that I do it, I buy these things in the fall, store them in the winter, fix them over the winter, store them for a good 2 to 3 months. I run them completely out of gas, and I'd probably say that 19 out of 20, whenever I get them out in the spring to sell them when mowing season starts, we'll start right up after I put gas in them. The other, 5% would that be, is a lot of times the issue is the overhead valve. There's too much oil in the overhead valve cover, and all I have to do is spray a shot of starter fluid in there. It's just the way these overhead valve Briggs engines are made. A little puff of smoke comes out and the thing runs great. So this is a little bit shorter video. I just wanted to, I guess, tell y'all my opinions on ethanol fuel and wanted to give y'all a visual representation of what ethanol fuel, if left unchecked for more than about 3 months, will do in your small engine. So I hope y'all found this video informative. Like I said, if you need to know how to take the carb off of this and do a quick clean on them, I've got another video I'll link into the description. But thank y'all for watching. If you have anything additional to add, advocates for, well, I don't think there's anybody that's an advocate for ethanol fuel, but any further kind of story or reason why you use non-ethanol fuel or choose not to for whatever reason, kind of like I do, it's more from a practical standpoint, and I just kind of work around it, then let me know. This is kind of trying to open it for a forum for everybody. So this one, I'll clean the carburetor out. It'll be running here in a few minutes. But yeah, just let me know. Hope y'all found this informative. Just kind of give you an insight as to what ethanol fuel will do. Thank y'all again for watching. Got a lot of videos coming. Trying to get one a week in, if not more, over the course of time here. And we'll catch you on the next one.